Now let's talk about the chronic state. During the chronic state, either the yin or yang energy is deficient. Energy in a weaker position would not be able to control the other side effectively. So dominant side, therefore, can increase from time to time, thus causing several semi-acute states. Recurrent migraine headaches provoked by too much stress, light, or alcohol, and these are all yang causes, are good example of yang rising from time to time on a yin deficient base. Another example would be recurrent asthma with excessive mucus or fullness of the chest in wet and cold weather. Good example for yin or damp increasing from a yang or qi deficiency situation. The changes are always predictable because a chronic indeficient state can only lead to yang increase from time to time and vice versa. So a yin deficiency state can lead to a hyperactive yang in the same way that a yang or qi deficiency state can lead to stagnation of yin. In energy balancing treatments, the diagnosis is already half the treatment because we decide the points accordingly. So therefore, diagnosis is quite important. Acute conditions must be sedated. If yang is excess, we sedate the yang. If yin is excess, we sedate the yin. If both yin and yang are excess, we sedate both the yin and yang, or we sedate whichever increased first. Chronic conditions need to be tonified. So if yang is deficient, we tonify yang. If yin is deficient, we tonify yin. So if both yin and yang are deficient, we tonify both. When both yin and yang are in excess, it is often because one side increased initially and the other side reacts to this increase by increasing itself as well. This reaction is possible as this is a recent disease state and both energies are still healthy. It will not be possible for the opposite side to react with it increase in itself if the disease state is subacute or chronic, as this side would have become weaker over time. Subacute states need both tonification and sedation. So if you have a hyperactive yang, we tonify the yin and sedate the yang. If there is stagnation of yin, we tonify the yang and sedate the yin. So this is for subacute states. In recurrent states with chronic history, treatment is different depending on whether we treat during acute phase or at interval. So at interval, the treatment is only to tonify the deficient aspect. During acute phase, this is treated like in the subacute state. Increase of both yin and yang with the symptoms of both energies, we can treat this with sedation of energy that increased initially. So the first that increased. When this is sedated, the reacting side will decrease of its own accord, as it will not be necessary for it to oppose any excess. For example, when you feel hot, you sweat excessively. If yang can be sedated and the body is cooled, there would be no sweating. Both yin and yang are always within each entity and they always relate and react to each other. This reaction follows a predictable pattern. So knowing this pattern helps to treat patients' problems with a view to its possible changes. Acupuncture is based on way of nature, so very natural, on wisdom achieved through many years of observation of nature, human life, and its changes. Understanding of yin and yang and their interrelationship will help us observe, predict, prevent, and treat symptoms of disease in their changing phases. And these relationships are contradiction, interconsumption, control, and intertransformation.